Well, looky here. We are in the final two volumes of Jigokuraku Hell's Paradise, volumes 12 and 13. This video is going to cover volume 12. The last video you'll see for this manga will be covering volume 13. And before I get into the review for this volume, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment at the end of the video. No, I should probably save that for at the end of the video for comment crap. Also, don't forget to hit the notification icon. Looks like a bell. Make sure that bell is a ring-a-ding-dingin'. That way, you will know when I put out a new video. Alright, so when we last left off, a bunch of shit's been happening. Shugen showing up, claiming his ultimate justice, pretty much confirming that he is the Akainu of the story. Then you got Zushin, who is like, "Mommy, Daddy, please love me," and basically became one with the giant flower known as the Banko. And such, teams were formed because his Banko could create different types of Taos, and since each Tao has a representative of a Tensen, kind of, that Tao's element needs to be dealt with their enemy element, not their ally element. Because remember, Tao works in the same kind of sense as like Pokemon, to where, well, if you have a ally Tao try to attack a ally Tao, they'll still do damage, but won't be a whole lot. It'll be very little. But if they were to help, they would actually help strengthen that ally Tao. But if an enemy of said Tao were to attack it, it would actually do a lot more fucking damage. Kind of like how fire would do a lot of damage to wood, but water wouldn't do as much damage as fire. Make sense? Hope it does. Because I was starting to get confused in my own fucking head here. Alright, so as we know, at the end of volume 11, everybody got their shit done in sync, because they need to get it in sync. That way they can destroy the tandem all at the same time. And the only two people that haven't really done their part was Jikka and Gantetsusai. So Jikka shows that he can kind of see his own future. Or rather, the way I took it is that he just has really good intuition, knowing where and where not to step. And thus, Jikka shows that he is actually a fucking badass and takes down the Banko, or at least the place that he's at, that Banko, takes him down with relative ease. But turns out that since, I guess the sun was coming up or some shit, that the sunlight was giving the Banko even more energy. So what happened was Abachobe decided to sacrifice his own life to destroy this creature once and for all. And not gonna lie, Abachobe's death fucking got to me. I was bawling like a little baby. No fucking lie. And I think it's more or less because of the fact that Abachobe really cares and loves his brother. Even to the point where he is seeing his parents in the afterlife and telling them that, he's like, I am a piece of shit. I've done some horrible fucking things, but I never, ever stopped being a good older brother. And I think that is what really got to me. Now, what didn't get to me, though, was the next death, and that was Mei. And the reason for that, is because Mei, Sagiri, and Yuzuriha all get confronted by Guifa, who is now a child. So it's safe to say that Guifa will not be one of the Tensen that will be um, fighting or even getting killed off. Because Guifa, in my opinion, is more of a researcher, not archaeologist, a historian in a sense. He's not a fighter. And we've seen that before time and time again. But now we know why Guifa, like what his purpose was in the story. His purpose in the story was basically to give Rein much needed time to leave the island, as well as hopefully stall the humans that are left onto the island. This way, Rein could get over to Waguo, I believe that's what they're calling Japan, over to the mainland, basically, and then start turning thousands of people into tandem, because tandem is essentially the elixir of life. But as we all know, the elixir of life has its downside, which is abortification. Basically turn them into tree people. But they're not going to be turning into Ents from Lord of the Rings. Instead, they're just going to turn into trees that look like they have human faces, which is very particular in contrast to, I want to say that's the 5th level of hell in Dante's Inferno, and it's where it's I can't remember, it's 4, but I believe it's a level where like every person is turned into a tree and they're slowly dying from like starvation and shit. But it's not the realm of gluttony. I don't remember what realm that was. I don't think it's I don't think it's the realm of pride either. But yeah, I digress. So anyways, turns out that Rein was actually Jofuku's wife. That was part of the thousands of people that first landed onto the island. And it turns out that Rein, from my understanding, used a bit of her own Tao to create the Tensen known as Rein, who is the leader of all the Tensens. And this Tensen is essentially just a remotely controlled puppet. And so what her plan is to revive Jofuku by sacrificing the lives of millions, as well as, and this is just my honest to God guess on this, give herself life again as well. That way, her and Jofuku could live happily ever after. And so she's on this burning ship on the way over to Wagul, or fucking Japan, and the only person on the ship to start trying to even prohibit this without even realizing what's really going on is Shugen. And Shugen has a very, very capable attribute on his side. Shugen's actually able to change his own Tao to different types of Taos. And this is because of Shugen's unique ability. The unique ability to harness the energy of any Yamato Asaemon, through his being. Because as we saw with his fight against Gantetsusai, that he was able to harness the attributes and the mannerisms and the being of different types of Yamato Asaemon. And this proves to be kind of effective towards Rein, but when Rein, takes the fight more seriously, Shugen kind of gets defeated. Now, why did Mei's death not have as much impact to me as Apachobe? You might be wondering. And it's all because of what Guifa says before Mei's final glorious moments. Guifa basically tells Sagiri, Yuzuri, Ha, and Mei about the talismans. and mentions that only 3 remain from their fortune telling, basically, and states that there's what's it like two yin, 1 yang. I believe that what it was. Basically, it was like 2 males and 1 female would be the survivor overall, thus letting us know that only 3 people will survive the story, and that everybody else is going to fucking die. So any deaths that come out of this at the very, very fucking end there's no surprise factor to it anymore, because you know someone's gonna fucking die. You don't know who, but you know someone's gonna fucking die. It's kind of like fuck. It's kind of like being told a premonition at the start of a horror movie, and being told X amount of people are going to live. The deaths are not going to have that much weight to them anymore. The reason why Abachobe's death really got to me is because of how much weight it had in the story itself. But now that I know that people are just going to be fucking killed off, and now there's one more volume left, basically, any kind of weight or significance that any of these deaths would have has now been cut short. At least I think so. The author could still surprise me, though. But, yeah, I don't really see any of these deaths fucking hitting me in the feels. Which is why May's death just didn't fucking do it. When May gave, her all to give them away out into the sea, because when they got to the docks, there's shipwreck just fucking everywhere, and there's only one boat that was working. I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna die. Wow. Then this probably would be more impactful if the author didn't go, 3 people will live, 2 will be men, 1 will be a woman. It's like, gee, yeah, you can't predict who's gonna fucking live, but God, at least leave some kind of fucking suspense. It would have been a whole lot better if that part of the conversation that Guifa had with those 3, being Sagiri, Yuzuriha, and May, didn't happen right then and there. If it was just, if we all learned was just 3 people would live, and we didn't know if he meant 3 of the guys, 3 of the women, who was gonna fucking live, that would have been a little more suspenseful. And then, around the very end of the story, then start learning about what the rest of that conversation was, about. With the fact that it would be 2 guys, 1 girl. After that, the badass shit starts happening, okay? Oh yeah, Gantetsusai actually ended up on the boat way before everybody else. And he started fighting against Shugen, and okay, so I don't like Shugen, alright? And a lot of people don't like him either. But I kind of understand his ideology. Now, just because you understand someone's ideology does not mean you agree with their ideology. You can still question their ideology even if you understand it. Shugen has his by-the-book ideology because he wholeheartedly believes and loves the Yamada Asaemon clan. And I believe that's the reason why he's able to harness the techniques of his kinfolk. Because we know that, or it wasn't evident enough, and to me this volume made it more evident that although, yes, he did cut down Fushi, he still felt that pain of cutting down one of his own family members. Now, keep in mind, when I say family members, I don't mean someone that's related by blood. I mean someone that's related, that is connected by loyalty. And Shugen felt that. Alright? Because Shugen actually felt betrayed. Because in his mind, he does not see how these criminals could have the same kind of loyalty and dedication as his family has to their cause. And so I love that clash of ideals between Gantetsusai and Shugen. But Gantetsusai really wasn't there to fight Shugen all that much. He was there basically to crack the spine of the fucking ship, essentially, to slow it down, to allow the small ship to approach. And then we got the battle with Gabimaru versus Shugen versus Rein, who then transcended into a higher being of Hermit called the Shinsen or Suinsen or something like that. It was like the highest level of Hermit a being could obtain, basically. And that fight got cut short, because then it became literally everybody versus Rein. And at first, they were all doing these like badass techniques, and it seemed like they were just whooping Rein's ass. But then Rein was like, nah, y'all ain't shit. And before you knew it, everybody was just on the ground. Unconscious, maybe dead, maybe. Maybe this is why so many people get fucking killed, because of this fight. Because they're basically battling essentially a god amongst men. I'll tell you what, though, the coolest moment was seeing Rein almost as a Bodhisattva, where she had, I think it was like 8 arms total, but I'm not too sure it actually was 8 arms, or if her hands were moving so fast that it looked like 8 arms. Because it could be that too. Alright, so what do you guys think of Jigokuraku Hell's Paradise Volume 12? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you'd be so kind to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, that way it will show up in the algorithm, and hopefully other people can find this content, and hopefully they'll find it entertaining and interesting to watch. Also, if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit that notification icon and make sure the bell is a ring-a-ding-dingin'. Alright, I'll chat with you guys next time.